Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining one more of our monthly webinars. This time we have a department. We're back in introducing some of our departments. And today we have Essex Law School. With me, I have Dr. Koldo Kasla, Dr. Godswill Agbaitoro, and Miss Julie Hanna, who are different lecturers from Essex Law School, and they will present what we're offering for law at the University of Essex. This is like one of the many webinars that we will have for the departments. From now on, we will start again with our departments. And this is, yeah, the first edition that we run for the next few months. So, yeah, if Calder, you ready to start?
Yes, of course. Thanks very much, Marius. It's a real pleasure to be here. My name is Koldo Kasla. I'm a senior lecturer in the law school, and together with my colleagues, Julie Hanna and Godwill Agbaitoro, we're going to present the law school and the Human Rights Centre of the University of Essex to you, and we will have some time at the end in case you have questions or comments. So I will share my screen. So I'm assuming that
Yes.
you can see my screen. So I will start by introducing the school and the Human Rights Centre in general, a few general remarks, and then Godswill will follow with our undergraduate offering, and then Julie will end with the postgraduate offering. So why study law? General question, not only at Essex, at the University of Essex, but in general. Obviously, we all study law, so we are biased in relation to this question. But law is a really versatile subject. It provides foundations for many other areas of knowledge. It's also an area where students, practitioners, they are continuously learning. There is no endpoint to law. You learn some foundations, but for the rest of your career, you will continue learning. And then something that we take a lot of pride on at the University of Essex is the dimension of holding power to account. That's a power that the law provides in the context of the rule of law, is that you can use the law to hold the authorities accountable. And at the University of Essex, we are proud to advocate for social justice in our day-to-day work. We are the home of the Human Rights Centre of the University of Essex, 40 plus years of history, the one of the largest human rights centres in the world, and the oldest human rights centre, academic human rights centre. And that is both from a human rights perspective and a non-human rights perspective. Social justice really is a core part of our ethos. We are a global law school with students from all over the world. In the most recent Times Higher Education World University ranking from this year, we were ranked as in the top 25 in the UK. Specifically for human rights, we are in 16th in the world, according to EduRank Best Universities 2025. We have a world reputation in international law, international human rights law, in commercial and business law as well. And we combine in our teaching, our pedagogic approach, a combination of theory and practice. Many of our staff members, both at undergrad and postgraduate level, have that practical experience. They have worked in the field in different domains, in litigation, in advocacy, working as researchers, as campaigners. So we combine in our teaching that perspective as well. It's not just teaching what the books say, but is teaching the practice as well and encouraging the students to learn from the practice, from the practical side of things as well. We are a university, a school that places a lot of importance on research. So we are a research-led university. Our colleagues and us, we use our own research on a day-to-day in the classroom. So we want the students to learn from the first year to learn the cutting edge research in the different areas of and sub areas of law. So, for example, in the Research Excellence Framework 2021, so the latest round of the excellence of the research quality measurement in the UK, we were ranked number 3 in the whole country in terms of research power after Oxford and Cambridge. So 3 in the whole country for law. And many of our colleagues run international projects or coordinate international projects in a wide range of topics. We are just highlighting here 3 of them. Our colleague Chris Willett in relation to consumer law, Jeff Gilbert, who is a key advisor of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, or Marina Lostal working on the rights of nature in Colombia. These are just 3 of tens of examples that we could provide of how research inspires our pedagogy, our teaching. Because we are so keen to work on and to focus on the practical side of things, for us, experiential learning is essential. So we want our students to not only learn, hoping that they will apply the lessons learned in the future careers, but we want them to learn by doing, by the experience, by reflecting on the experience. So that's what we mean. That is what we mean by experiential learning. We have multiple opportunities for our students at undergrad and postgrad level to learn from experience. We have various clinics. We have the law clinic with a number of projects on law reform, on housing, on violence against women in the UK context. We have business law clinic where our students get to advise particularly charities on the business law side of things. We have a new clinic that was launched this year on sustainability and environmental matters. And we have our Human Rights Center clinic with 5 to 7 projects every year from all over the world, where our students produce research, high-level research for external partners from all over the world. And this research is often of such high quality that it is published often. On the left-hand side, you see some of the pictures from our meetings of students with clients. And also we have one picture from our recent visit of some of our students to Geneva, the headquarters of United Nations, where they got to meet various experts from the United Nations in the human rights field. Some more pictures here of our law and human rights clinic. Our students take leadership of the projects. They run the projects, they lead the projects, but they are closely advised and assisted by us, by members of faculty in the different clinics in business law, in the law clinic, in human rights and sustainability and environmental clinic. A point about the Human Rights Center, internationally renowned Human Rights Center. We are very proud of it. It also has this gravitational force of attraction that once you join the Human Rights Center or Essex, chances are that you will come back. It is my own story, and it's the story of many of us. I was a student in 2008, and then I came back in 2019 as a lecturer. So it is very much part of your own identity. Once you study here, you are proud of it, and you will meet colleagues who years later who went through Essex, and you will draw this the connection. Our current director is Carla Fersman on the right-hand side, who has 20 plus years of experience working in the field, not only as an academic, but working as a former director of redress and working internationally on human rights and reparations issues. Our students are supported by both at the university level and the school level in multiple opportunities oriented to employability. We have people in the school who spend a lot of time thinking of how to help students with their employability prospects, being trained on interviewing, being trained on advocacy, on mediation. We have a new meeting room where our students practice their legal and litigation skills. And that is besides the support that the university provides with the career hubs. We also have our law stars, our wonderful law stars. These are students, second and third year undergrad students who provide that peer support one-to-one to more junior students when they arrive. This is a picture of the meeting room that currently you see empty, but I promise you that we make good use of it, and on a weekly basis, it is being used to replicate the experience of a courtroom. This is a meeting of our student support meeting, led by Beth Jackson, and a reference to the law students to the law staff, sorry, that I mentioned just earlier. And I will end before I pass on to God's will with a few remarks of a more sort of the friendly atmosphere that we have at Essex. Um, we have casual spaces like the Law Common Room. We have a number of sports clubs and student societies. Many of the student societies are law-oriented student societies, but we have the Law Society at Essex, but we also have a student society, Women Legal Society. We have the UNICEF Society, the Amnesty International Society. And one important feature of Essex, besides the green space that we provide, is also that we are near London, but not quite in London. So we offer is the best of both worlds, of being the proximity to London, which is great, just 50 minutes away. But at the same time, we avoid some of the distractions that students may have if they are in the middle of the city with all the distractions that we remember from our own time. And some pictures of the common room and the green space in the of campus. We also have a virtual tour that I'm sure Marius will provide a link to, of our law school, if you want to see it from the inside, or share the link. And now I will pass it on to God's will, who will present our undergraduates offering. God's will, please.
All right. Thank you very much, Cody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. It's my pleasure to be here, and welcome to all of you who's joining this webinar. So, we've just heard about the law school, and what I'm going to be talking about now is about what we offer at the undergraduate level. Next slide, please. So the first slide has to do with why do you need to study undergraduate at SS Law School. So I'm just telling you some of the things that you stand to benefit if you decide to come study for your law degree at SS Law School. First thing to note is that we have a really diverse and inclusive community, and this presents a wonderful opportunity for you to be part of a vibrant multicultural community that prioritize diversity and inclusion. Second, we also have academics who are very much committed to the personal growth of our students, particularly undergraduate students. So we have another priority of giving adequate care in terms of academic care, studies, and all of that to our students to help them realize their full potential. And that also leads to having an environment, the campus, that is very safe and supportive, particularly the law school, especially when you meet most of the staffs who are wonderful in terms of supporting students in every aspect of their studies. There is a hope for local community engagement. So it's not just about learning about theories, learning about sort of concepts, principles of law in class, but also having that opportunity to engage with local community and professional networks. And not just in Colchester, but also in London. That's very close to us. And one of the things that we guarantee when you study law with us is becomes a launch pad for professional success in whatever career you choose in law. Maybe going into practice or going into other aspects where you can use the law degree as well. And then it's a unique opportunity as well for exploration and understanding of different modules that we have in our offering. Next slide, please. So what are the courses that we have available at UG? So first, we have what is called the straight law, which is just an LLB law degree. And then we also have the LLB law, including a foundation year. So, this is a dedicated program that allows students who are not yet ready for a full university program to, sort of ease into the university program through the foundation year. And then we have the LLB law senior status for mostly people who are graduates and they're thinking about having law as another career, or just have a change of mind, that's also one of the things that we offer, and it's a 2-year program. Then we have the LLB licensed English and French law, which we normally call the double degree. So it's a program where you combination of the English law and French law together in one. So we do 2 years in England at Essex, and then you go over to France to do the 3rd year, of course, with our partner institutions. The another interesting thing that we offer at the UG level is what's known as law with a second subject. So this is quite interesting and also very popular amongst our current undergraduate students. And in this regard, we have law in addition to business, law with criminology, law with human rights, law with philosophy, law with history. So what this does for you is that you're not only going to have a law degree, but also other elements that will put you in a really good position out there when you're done with your degree, particularly the law with business, which is quite popular amongst our students. Next slide, please. So how will your studies progress, and what are the things that you stand to gain when you join us at our law school? The first thing is that in your first year, one of the things that we get to do is to introduce you to understand different legal systems, particularly the UK, of course, because you're studying in the UK, and other key areas of law that would be essential for you, not just in the first year, but also progressing through the 2nd and the 3rd year. And for that, we have training on law skills and principles of legal methodology that will help you understand this legal system and the key areas of law. Then when you move to your year 2, we are now looking to help build your confidence in analyzing and applying the law, applying those key areas of law that you have learned in the year 1. So these are the sort of things that you start engaging with in your 2nd year. And we also have training available for that. So it's not just throwing it to you, but also ensuring that we provide training, including research skills, to help you explore the different ways, different methodologies that you would use to analyze and apply the law. And then in the 3rd year, this is where you start to, the confidence level, really has gone up. And then you start to consolidate some of the things you've learned through the 1st year and the 2nd year, and start to build your skill in terms of critical analysis to the areas of law that you're interested in. And we will allow some form of independent research at this point in the 3rd year. And that's because you have learned, ways for you to be able to carry out this independent research all through the 1st and the 2nd year. Next slide, please. So what subject will you be studying when you join us? So for the straight law, that's the LLB course structure, which is a straight law. In the 1st year, we have key modules, or what we refer to as core undergraduate modules, such as public law, which constitute constitutional law and administrative law. Then we also have contract law, land law, criminal law. These are core modules that are compulsory academic content, and will also help you to prepare for becoming a lawyer or becoming a solicitor, whichever one you choose, especially as it applies to the UK. Then in your 2nd year, there are also compulsory modules as well that you have to take, again helping you to prepare for becoming a lawyer, becoming a barrister or a solicitor. We have EU law, tort law, they have the justice module, and then in the 2nd year we try to allow students to then look at certain areas of law, through optional modules that they are particularly interested in. And in the 3rd year, for the straight law, as the LLB course structure, we allow students the freedom to be able to choose module, because at this time we realize that students have started gravitating towards a particular area of law that they're interested in. You find students saying that they want to focus in family law, find students saying that they want to focus in employment law, they want to focus in tort or medical law, and we allow them that sort of option in the straight law. Next slide, please. And then when it comes to the joint LLB course structure, the one I told you about earlier, in a law with a second subject, would be business, would be human rights, philosophy. So the way it is structured, we also allow them to take the core modules, ones I just mentioned for the straight law, public law, contract law, criminal law, and at the end, you have a subject or you have a course or module from the second subject. So if it is business, you have a module from our business in our SS Business School. The same thing for the year 2, land law, tort law, justice, and then you're taking a module from the second subject. It could be business, as I've mentioned, could be from human rights, philosophy, and all of that. And in the third year, there is also the option that we allow students to then gravitate towards certain modules that they are particularly interested in. Of course, with an additional compulsory module on EU law, and then another option as well, and the second subject. One of the things I should mention is that at the third year, one of the things that you would be exposed to is to have independent research project, what we normally call a capstone or dissertation, where you complete a piece of work independently, of course, with the supervision of your supervisor that will be allocated to you for this particular project. We would have trained you before you get to the third year on how you can undertake this independent research project. Next slide, please. For the LLB senior status course structure, so this is the one I told you about for people who are thinking about having law degree as a second subject, as a second career. They've just had a change of mind and they want to study law in addition to the first degree that they've had, and it's a 2-year program. So this is the sort of structure that they would undergo for those sort of candidates joining us. Same thing with core subjects, and then you have in the second year core subjects as well that are compulsory and optional modules for them to choose from. For the French double degree, you can see it's a dedicated program for students who are interested in having a 2-in-1 degree certificate of law involving French and English. So same thing with the course structure, core modules, and then you have a subject from France, which is the French constitutional law, and that would also go through in your second year. And in the third year, the student would have to move to France to complete the program, of course, with our partners that we have over there. Next slide, please. Now, what subject will you study? Again, we have this a partnership program that we have in Canada, where we have students that will transfer or who are interested will transfer to Waterloo to continue their studies. Again, having first and second year at Essex, and then would do a transfer to Waterloo in Canada to complete the study. So these are some of the offerings that we have at our undergraduate level for you at SS Law School. Next slide, please. Now, I mentioned something about some of the optional modules. One of the things I said, if you remember, has to do with the fact that when students get to a certain year in their program, they start gravitating towards a particular module or particular area of law that they are particularly interested in. Some students want to focus on cybercrime, for example. They want to focus on criminal litigation. So we have a lot of optional modules, as you can see from the slide, that are valuable for students to choose from. So we are doing a straight law, which is the LLB course structure, as I mentioned earlier, that has a lot of options. So these are modules that you will have to choose to fill in those different options for you, especially when you find yourself really interested in a particular area. Next slide, please. And just to let you know, give you some of the testimonials that we have from students who have studied with us in the past. So these are some of the things that they've said about studying here at SS Law School, and how they've been able to use that degree, use what they've learned to start making waves in their respective career. So just to give you a broad overview, that these students went through the program, and now they are doing really well in different areas of their careers. You can see one there from the LLB French and English law, the double degree, and then we have other students as well who are testifying to how these has helped them in becoming a barrister or a solicitor in their respective careers. Thank you.
Great.
Julie.
Thanks, Godswill. Thanks, Koldo. Nice to meet everyone. Again, my name's Julie Hanna. I'm a lecturer here at the Law School and Human Rights Center. And like Koldo, and I think Godswill as well, also a former student at Essex. In 2012, I took one of the postgraduate degrees, and I didn't leave, unlike Koldo. Anyway, it's great to be here. Great to see everyone. I'm going to go through our postgraduate offer here at Essex Law School. Koldo, next slide, please. So, at Essex Law School, we offer a depth and diversity here that I think is probably one of the world's most diverse portfolios of postgraduate degrees in international law. At the moment, we offer around 7 postgraduate degree programs. We have a global reputation that Koldo and Godswill have also spoken about to some degree, particularly our degree programs around our LLM and international human rights law, which I'll go in more detail in a moment. There is a wide range of areas from international human rights to commercial and business, international law, technology, and law and sustainability. So there's a wide variety of choice in terms of the postgraduate offer. There's flexible study, including part-time and full-time options. For some of our degrees, we also offer January starts, which might be appealing for the markets that many of you are working in. I think the international law degree and the private and commercial law degree offer January starts. One of the things that I hear time and again from students and from my own personal experience here at Essex is you have an unprecedented access to industry here at the university, as Koldo discussed. Many of our academics and faculty are thought leaders in their spaces. They are sort of bridging theory and practice. So they are coming from industry or they are engaged directly with different types of government actors, private actors, NGOs, the United Nations, et cetera. Lots of even local work that's happening. And there is a powerful global network. So you enjoy lifelong benefits long after your 1 year is completed as a postgraduate student through our famous global network of high impact alumni. And that's something I experience in my own work. When I'm traveling from work, I always find somebody from Essex that's running around in different circles. And it does feel like a very big but connected family around the world. Next slide, please. So our admissions criteria is there for you to take a look at. It's also available online. And of course, there are specificities based on the country that you're drawing from. But our English language testing is a 6.5 overall. There's a minimum component score across of 5.5, except for a 6.0 in writing. We generally are accepting a 2.2 degree in law or a joint honors degree in another subject with law. But we also are interested in people who are coming from other areas, sociology, criminology, international relations, politics, political science. That's just an example of many. We consider degrees in other subjects. I know we have folks that have come from maths and science backgrounds that want to study the law and bring it into different technology industries, for example. So people that, like someone like me, for example, who doesn't have a law background, but comes from a long practical professional experience, I was able to enter into a postgraduate degree with that balance of factors. Next slide, please. So why study international law? Marios, our colleague at Essex, asked if I would go through 2 different degree programs that we offer here. One is the LLM in international law, and the other one is the LLM in human rights law. So I'll focus on international law first. The LLM degree, again, is 1 year. You can start in October, you can start in January. You learn about the international legal system and the theory and practice of its institutions and processes. The same faculty that are teaching folks at the undergraduate level are also teaching folks at the postgraduate level. So it's a globally diverse community of staff, but also of students, particularly at the postgraduate level. A lot of the education I got was from a lot of the colleagues and my peers coming from various different parts of the world with various different types of professional and life experience that has carried me forward in my own professional work. You can tailor your degree to your interests. There's a range of optional modules. That information is available online and is, of course, subject to the availability of faculty during those term times. Again, flexible study. And the experiential learning offer that Godswill and Koldo mentioned previously with the Human Rights Clinic, the Business Clinic, and the Law and Sustainability Clinic are also available to postgraduate students, particularly the Human Rights Clinic, which I don't think at this time is available to undergraduate students. Next slide, please. So the structure, very basically, because I want us to have time for questions, there are compulsory modules that you have to take for the LLM and international law, and then a range of optional modules, which also can include clinical education, which is its own optional module you can take. Each postgraduate degree requires a dissertation. That's around 12,000 words. It's completed during the summer term. It's your rigorous time to explore an area of your own interest with close supervision from one of our faculty. Next slide. And the student experience as a postgraduate is not much different in terms of the availability of things to do. But there is a vibrant series of guest lectures and events that are available for students. So you're learning in the classroom, but you're also learning from a vibrant set of activities from guest lectures from around the world. They're available online, sometimes in person as well. And again, there's the Business Law Clinic that's available to you, the Human Rights Center Clinic, and the Sustainability Law and Governance Clinic, which Godswill is in fact supporting at the moment with LLM students. So moving on to the human rights master's degrees, we do have an LLM in international human rights law, but we also have a master's available in human rights law. As Koldo mentioned, we have a global reputation as one of the leading institutions to study human rights here at Essex Law School, 16th in the world for human rights education. You'll learn from a global intergenerational community of human rights defenders. Both your staff and your students are coming from the field of practice, many of them, if not most of them. You'll build practical skills that are grounded in theory, and you can join the next generation of human rights leaders. What I think is particularly unique about the Essex human rights experience is this is one of the world's largest campus-based human rights communities. So all of your staff, all of your teachers are based here at the University of Essex. They're faculty. They're not flown in for ad hoc lectures. They're here to support you in the classroom, in their office, over coffee, at the guest lectures and events. So it is a really fantastic community that you can join. And again, there's flexible study available both full-time and part-time. Next slide, please. So the LLM human rights law structure is very similar to that of the international law structure. There's compulsory modules that you take, but then a range of optional modules. That includes, again, clinic, the human rights clinic, as well as a range of different human rights options. There's a dissertation again. It's 12,000 words, and that is, again, completed over the summer term. Next slide, please. So to just give you a taste of the human rights community here at Essex, and perhaps it can give you some perspective on the types of teaching and topics and research projects that are available, you can see that there is over 2,000 alumni. I think Koldo and I have concurred that we need to upgrade that to around 3,000 alumni now. There's current students and over 100 faculty across 11 disciplines. So while the Human Rights Center is based here in the law school, there's faculty from across the university that's engaged in human rights knowledge production as well as practice across 11 disciplines. So there's lots of space to learn and really stretch your disciplinary thinking here at the Human Rights Center. There's a robust speaker series and events throughout the academic year coming up, in fact, early next month. And Marius, hopefully you can help promote this event for us. There is the 19th Annual Human Rights and Aging Conference. It is a student-led conference run by postgraduate human rights and other postgraduate students here at Essex. It's a 2-day event over 2 different Saturdays, and they produce a range of really fantastic workshops, lectures, and a fantastic report that they produce every year. Our staff engage on a range of projects here at the Human Rights Center. There's the Transitional Justice Network, the Armed Conflict and Crisis Hub, Business and Human Rights and Drug Policy, which is the work I'm engaged in, the Essex Autonomy Project, which works with colleagues in the philosophy department, a large interdisciplinary group of folks looking at human rights, big data, and technology. In fact, that is the theme of this year's Human Rights in Asia Conference. There's the human rights local work that Koldo leads on. I'm also engaged in some local work. We need to bring human rights home wherever we are. The Digital Verification Unit is also a really fantastic project that both postgraduate and undergraduate students engage on with Amnesty International and our colleagues here. There's work on detention rights and social justice, and that's just a taste. Next slide, please. And of course, we have a powerful community of postgraduate alumni. These are some of the testimonies from them. You are also speaking to alumni who can share their own experiences. And most of us, we are all part of the recruitment team and are available to speak to any of you at any time. Next slide. I think that's it for me, in fact, on the postgraduate side. So questions now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. It was very useful. It's, as I always say in every webinar, I think that people who are like in all of our webinars are tired to listen to me saying that this is also very important and interesting for me as well. But yeah, any questions we might have right now, we are happy to answer.
And also, Marius, you'll have our email addresses that people can send questions to as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and also because this webinar will be uploaded and will be available for anyone to watch on demand with the slides. So even if you like revisit the webinar later and you have any questions, please feel free to pass any questions to anybody from law. If you have any issues getting in touch with anybody because you cannot find their email, stuff like that, just feel free to email me. You all have my email. So yeah. I will be able to pass any questions you have. We have a question. Can you speak about the accessibility of the law clinics? How students get involved? Do all students get the opportunity if they want, or do they have to apply?
Should I go first? So we have four clinics. So the law clinic, the main law clinic, which has 4 to 6 different issues, mostly domestic legal issues that change every year, but often have to do with homelessness and housing, with violence against women, with legal reform, with LGBT issues. That is mostly for first and second year undergrads. We have tens, in fact, often more than 100 students working in the different projects. And my understanding is that students who want to participate, it's a voluntary activity. It's important to point that out. It's a voluntary extracurricular activity in addition to the modules. So if students want to participate, I would really encourage you to do so. And if you want to be part of it, if students want to be part of it, they will have a chance to be part of the law clinic and they will be supported. And it is a great thing to add to your CV afterwards, because it's the sort of experience that while you're doing your studies, you can show to your future employers that you have had very practical experience, including practicing, interviewing skills, interviewing clients, and working on a legal memo and producing writing advocacy papers and engaging with local authorities, etc. So that is open to first and second year students mostly. The business law clinic is often for third year, currently at least for third year students. It is particularly interesting for students who are undergrads oriented to business side of things. After 2 years of the law clinic, you can be part of the business law clinic in your third year, or you can go straight to the business law clinic if you want. And then the human rights law clinic is unlike the business law clinic and the law clinic, it is for credits for postgraduate students. For most students in the human rights law, in the human rights clinic are take it for credit. There are some projects that are on a voluntary basis, but most students do it for credit. It is for postgraduate, although we have exceptionally some undergrad students doing the human rights law clinic. There is an application process, but because there are multiple projects, sometimes there are also standalone projects that last maybe a month or two. There are opportunities for students to be involved, and maybe not necessarily in the one project that is their favorite choice, but if not in that project, there will be opportunities in other projects, because in each one of these projects in each one of these clinics, we have 4 to 6 different projects running. So that covers the main law clinic, the business law clinic. So the main law clinic, as I said, undergrad 1 and 2, the business law clinic year 3 undergrad mostly, the human rights clinic is mostly postgrad. And then the sustainability and environment, Godwill, I will ask you to help me, please,
Yes,
to make
yes,
sure that we
please.
provide the right
Yeah,
information.
yeah. Thank you very much, Khalid. Just a couple of points to mention about the main law clinics. I know for a fact that it's very competitive. In terms of application, students tend to hustle and make sure that they get a space for it. So, if you want to be part of it, you have to put in an application as early as possible to get in. And the interesting thing about all of this training is that it moves you from just listening about theoretical stuff in class to having more practice experience because they tend to engage with a lot of practical stuff. And for the sustainability law and governance clinic, which is a new one that started this academic year, so we open it up to both undergrad and postgraduate students. But for undergrad, mainly students who are in their final year, because they'll be able to appreciate most of the work that we do in the sustainability law and governance clinic. But essentially, we tend to prioritize environmental issues, environmental protections, sustainability, issues relating to climate change, and we try as much as possible to get students to work with NGOs, civil society organizations that tend to push for more environmental sustainability. So you get an opportunity to work with them, come up with reports, write briefs, and all that sort of things, very much practical in that regard. I'm happy to announce to you that we just completed our first report from the of the Sustainability Law and Governance Clinic. And that report was written by an LLM student for an NGO in Kenya about environmental issues in a particular community in Kenya. So at the moment, we have postgraduate students who are part of our LLM LLM International Environmental Law and Sustainability program that are part of this clinic. And then we also have undergraduate students in the third year who are joining us to take up their dissertation, capstone or research project as part of the clinic work at the moment. It's quite interesting, to be able to carry out research or work on an area that you are particularly interested in, genuinely interested in, like protecting the environment, issues relating to climate change, and all of that. Thank you.
Thank you both. We have one more question. How much is the tuition fee for PG and UG and the initial deposit? And how long is the PG program? Now, I can say about the initial deposit that it depends on the country of residence. So the base of this is a couple of £1,000, but then depending on the country, this changes. So I would suggest, if you can, to go and look for in the website. If you try to find like deposit policy University of Essex, you will find it very easily. Now regarding the tuition fee for PG and UG and the PG program, yeah, I will let everyone else to, yeah.
I'm just checking. It is for law, it's currently 21,525. The tuition fee for undergrad level. For postgrads, I believe it was a little bit less than that, if I'm not mistaken, but around 20,000. That is international fee, and it is for postgraduate programs at 1 year.
Yeah. So, for Nigerian students, I think it's 4,000. The deposit is 4,000 for Nigerian students. But again, it's better to just go and check our deposit policy just to be 100% sure. Can you explain about the scholarships on PG programs? Do we have any specific scholarships for law?
Julie, you checked recently. There's a link on our website that provides links to both the Essex specific scholarships and international scholarships. I don't know if you have it at hand at all, or if you can speak to this issue.
I can grab it and drop it in the chat, and also give it to Marios to circulate. But there's a range of external scholarships available for PG study here at Essex. Some of the students, I would say a lot of the students that we see are on a range of different types of financial support. Some are here using the Chevening Scholarship, which is a great pathway, particularly our colleagues from the Southeast Asia region. There is also a scholarship that I've just learned of from the British Council called the Great Scholarship for those in Egypt and in Kenya. So there is a long list, and when I stop talking, I'll Google really quickly to find the scholarship page and send it to you, because there's a range of different options.
Yeah. We also had the webinar about scholarships. So we had the updates from Essex webinar that happened in November. So if you all go to the folders that you have with all the webinars and you look for updates from Essex, we had like a whole webinar about our new scholarships that are not law specific, but they are like for the whole university. So you will be able to also find information there about all our scholarships. So yeah, and in every email that I'm sending to everyone out, I'm trying to include the folders with everything that we have. So you will be able to find the webinar there in your next emails that you will get from me. You'll probably get an email from me this week as well, so I might include this information too. Thank you very much, Julie, for sharing the link. Sorry, I didn't quite catch the information you mentioned about the Canadian UG partnership. Was that with Ottawa? Was that for Canadian students only? That's
That's with Waterloo, isn't it, Godswill? That's with Waterloo. We have partnerships with various universities from different countries, and in particular with Waterloo, we have this program by which they can come here. Is it for a couple of years to complete the
Yes,
program? And before Godswill, before you provide the details, I maybe just say about the Canadian option is that it is a particularly interesting. So coming to Essex or to the UK in general, but to Essex in particular, if you are Canadian, is a particularly appealing option because the national accreditation agency in Canada provides a quick pathway for Canadian students or indifferent international students, but for Canadian students to come to the UK, complete their LLB here, the undergrad degree in the UK, and then return to Canada and get accreditation and become a solicitor there. in less time, maybe 2 or 3 years less than the time that you will need if you stay in Canada. And we recently had a visitor from the University of Alberta presenting this option to our students. And every year we have a good number of Canadian students. But the particular partnership that Godwill mentioned is with Waterloo. I don't know if Godwill, if you wanted to elaborate on that.
Yeah, it's mainly for Canadian students that would come and do 2 years with us and then go back to Canada to complete the degree program. So it's a partnership that we have with the institution there in Waterloo, but mainly applies to Canadian students.
Thank you very much, both. I've also added the link to the webinar that we have about the PG scholarships for anyone who wants to get a chance to watch it right now. Any other questions? Okay, so I don't see any other questions coming in. Thank you all. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. Thank you all for giving this amazing presentation. It was very
Thank you.
helpful.
Yes,
And
thank
yeah,
you.
we will continue with our next webinar next month with a different departments. So yeah, we will let you know when the time comes, and we will also promote other things that we said that we're going to promote today. Yeah. Thank you all.
Wonderful.
Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.